Good morning, dear students. Welcome back again with a new session of Science 2. We already started with the classification of animals. Today we are going to discuss about the criteria for a new system of classification of animals. In that, among them, the first point is grades of organization. So, what are the criteria among them? First factor is grades of organization. Now, a body of animal is made up of cells. In case of multicellular animals, many cells are performing different functions in the body, while unicellular or animals, as the body is made up of single cell, all functions are performed by the same cell only. Body organization of unicellular animal is referred as protoplasmic grade organization. In simple words, when any of the organism is made up of one cell perform all functions, all activities of the body. Whereas if it is made up of multicellular, various cells have different functions which carry out in a systematic order. In case of multicellular animals, if tissues are formed, the body organization is called as cellular grade organization. In case of some animals, cells together form tissues with the help of which the body functions are formed. Such animals are cell tissue grade organization. For example, animals from phylum Nidaria. Platforms show tissue organ grade organization. In this type of organization, tissues are organized to form some organs. However, complete organ systems are not formed. So these are certain example of protoplasmic grade organization made up of protoplasm. Then basic unit is cell, so cell grade organization. Then certain organisms which are based on cell tissue grade organization. Then some organisms are made by tissue organ grade organization. So different criteria is there based on which the different organisms are being formed. You can see the diagram. Now, body organization of human has shown in the figure. Now, the labeling as per the diagram, you can easily get it. Many parts of the body which we are aware of it. Beside the four types of body organization mentioned above, remaining all our animals show organ system grade organization, in which different organs are joined together to form organ system and perform specific functions. For example, crab, frog, human. So here all organs are connected to each another in order to perform any of the activity or for successful running of any of the organism. Then that was the first criteria, that is organization, organism grade. Now body symmetry. Body is There are certain bodies which can be divided or which have certain specific shape and which does not have certain specific shape. So depending upon that, there is a body symmetry. Now, in imaginary sense, if a body of any animal is cut through axis of body, it may or may not produce two equal halves. Depending upon the property, there are different types of animal bodies. Among them, first is asymmetry. Asymmetry means when it is cut into two parts, it may not be divided into two equal halves. Now, in case of such bodies, there is no such imaginary axis of the body through which we can get two equal halves. For example, amoeba, paramecium, some sponges, etc. Radial symmetry. In this type of body, if imaginary cut passes through central axis, but any plane of body, it gives two equal halves. For example, starfish. In case of these animals, there are five different planes through which central axis body which can get into two equal halves. Then bilateral symmetry. In this type of body, there is only one such imaginary axis of the body through which we can get two equal halves. For example, insects, fishes, frogs, birds, human. So, if we consider an imaginary line from the center, we can divide the body into two equal halves. That is called as bilateral symmetry. Now, depending upon the layer of the skin, now third criteria on which the organism divides is germ layer, which we call it as diploblastic or triploblastic. The name itself suggests diploblastic, two layer, triploblastic, three layers. In case of multicellular animals, germ layers are formed during initial period of their embryonic development, and from those germ layers only different tissues are formed in the body. In case of some animals, only two germ layers, endoderm and ectoderm, are formed. For example, all cnidarians. In most of the remaining animals, three germ layers are formed. For example, that is mesoderm besides endoderm and ectoderm. Then the fourth criteria under which the organism is divided, and that is or on the basis of which classification is being done, and that is body cavity, or we call it as coelom. Coelom means cavity or khanda. The cavity between the body and the internal organ is called as body cavity or coelom. In case of multicellular animals, during initial period of the embryonic development, a body cavity is formed from either mesoderm or gut, or we can call it as mesoderm. Such type of body cavity is present in animals of phylum Annelida and phyla coming after Annelida. These animals are called as uh, eucolomate, animals with true body cavity. The body cavity is absent in case of animals from phyla porifera. Now, these phyla are all unknown terms to you. You will come to know in further part of this lesson what are these phylum and their characteristics. At present, just remember their names and which type of body cavity they form, that we have to remember. Cnidaria and Platyhelminthes. So, the body cavity is absent in case of phylum Porifera. Pori means hose. Cnidaria, or you can call it as uh, small cavities or holes are formed. Then platy means flat. Menthes means worms. Yeah. The platyhelminthes. Such animals are called as ecolomate or ecoclomate. In case of animals from phylum Asymmetry, they have body cavity but is not formed by the above mentioned two ways. Hence, those animals are called as pseudocoelomates. Pseudo means false. False means here imaginary cavity is there. So here three type of cavity here we have discussed about it. The first is eocoelomate, then second one is acoelomate, and third one is pseudocoelomate. So eocoelomate, in this type cavity is present. Then second is acoelomate, here cavity is absent. Then next one is pseudocoelomate, means false cavity is there, but it is not formed. Cavity is there, but it is not fully developed or formed, and therefore it is called as pseudocoelomates. Now, body segmentation. If the body of the animal is fixed into small similar units, such body is called as segmented body. and each small unit is called as segment. For example, animals like earthworm from phylum Annelida. Now you can see various type of coelomates. The diagram is there. Eocoelomates, cavity is there. Pseudocoelomates on the process to form, and acoelomates no cavity or cavity is absent. Three layers are formed in them. Okay. Then segmentation, small segments, small units are formed, and that we call it as segmentation. For example, earthworm. Earthworm has various setae or segments are there. Now here various on the basis of body's organization, body symmetry, body cavity and phylum, various classification is being done, which we are going to discuss. Now first of all, as per the diagram, kingdom Animalia with multicellular organisms without cell wall. Then body organization divided to two parts: cellular grade and tissue or organ system grade. In cellular grade, asymmetrical body is there. In tissue or organ system, again two parts are there: radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Further, asymmetrical body is divided on the basis of cavity, that is acoelomate. Then radial symmetry or is that is also acoelomate. Further, bilateral symmetry, it has all three types of cavity: acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and eocoelomate. Further, on the basis of phylum, here 10 phylums are there. First phylum Porifera, second Nidaria, third Platyhelminthes, fourth Acelminthes, five Annelida, sixth Arthropoda, seven Mollusca, eight Echinodermata, nine Hemichordata, 10 Chordata. All this type of phylums we are going to study it in the next class. Till then, have a great day.